Welcome back to the Villains, and this is our Game Week 2 predictions. Game Week 1 didn't go that well for me. I only got 2 right, so it's a start, right? New concepts, they're always, sometimes don't know how they're going to go down, but it actually went down really well. So I'm pleased with that. You guys seem to enjoy it, so we will continue for the whole season. So in the comments, let me know your Game Week predictions, and we're going to get straight into it then. So we have got Crystal Palace up against Manchester City. I feel like this should be a comfortable Manchester City victory. I think Crystal Palace, I just don't think they're going to do that well this season. Who knows what's going to happen with Mateta and Sarr, for example. They're getting Ordonez, so, they're getting a really good defender longevity-wise. But I feel like City, with their new midfield, with Buardi, Anderson, are they going to get Enzo Fernandez? Allen is there. Allen's joined them. I feel like City are going to be, I think they're going to be all right. I feel like they're going to be okay. Maybe have some up and downs, but they've got off to a good start. And I see this continuing from them. Liverpool, it's Iraola's first home game as Liverpool manager. I think it will be a comfortable victory. I feel like you'll have the vibes, you'll have the energy, you'll have the passion. And I feel like that will sort of lend itself to a Liverpool performance. He's going to want to put on a show. I feel like, Liverpool drew against Newcastle. They got the penalty late on. So I feel like it has been a slow start for a lot of teams, which maybe is expected with the World Cup. There's one team that I predicted to have a really good season, and I think they're going to continue their form in this weekend as well. Forest have lost to Leeds twice already. Glasner adapting to his system. They've just signed Delap. What I would say about Glasner is I do have a little question mark on Glasner. I have a question mark on the league. I think he's does really well in cup competitions, but actual league, the league form, him being in the Premier League, I don't think he's ever had an amazing finish with Crystal Palace. So let's see how he does at Forest. Obviously, they've got a really good squad. It might take a little bit of time for them to settle and gel together, but I feel like I've got that little question mark over Glasner. Bournemouth, Everton. Now, whenever I look at this fixture on a piece of paper or look at it in front of me, it always ends up with goals. So I'm going to go with a Desmond. Bournemouth 2, Everton 2. I think Everton have started quite brightly. Bournemouth lost narrowly to Manchester City. But again, I feel like this will be quite a tight game. I think that both teams will score. I think it will be quite entertaining and attacking. So I'm going to go with a 2-2 on this one. Now, this is a really interesting game. Coventry up against Hull. You've got the two newly promoted sides together. Hull coming off the back of an outstanding result against Manchester United. Coventry losing to Arsenal, trying to sort of like find their feet in the Premier League. And you get sort of like slapped with Arsenal. It's never going to be an easy game. That, I think, probably 99.9% of people would have predicted Arsenal to win. Very comfortable. But this is the game where, Coventry have got to win their home games. You're looking at teams against newly promoted sides and you're thinking, well, this is where you've got to get your points. Hull coming off the back of that outstanding victory against Manchester United. I feel like it'll be a completely different game against Coventry. Probably quite tight. Maybe Coventry take the lead and Hull come back into it. So I'm going to go with a 1-1, Coventry 1, Hull City 1. Next up, we've got Tottenham against Newcastle. Now, Spurs got absolutely battered against Brentford. Newcastle off the back of a really good point against Liverpool. I feel like, again, a little bit like the Liverpool vibe. Brand new signings for De Zerbi back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They're going to want to put on a performance. They're going to want to improve their home form from last season. But I also feel like Newcastle will have a little bit about them. They'll have that confidence there. But actually just feel like the occasion and the game, I see Tottenham winning that one. So I'm going to go with a Tottenham 2, Newcastle United 1 in that game. Next up, we've got Chelsea up against Brighton. I feel like as a Villa fan, I wouldn't really read too much into Brighton's start. Played well up against a subpar Aston Villa. Chelsea played pretty well against Fulham. Fulham had their opportunities, but I'm going to go with a strong Chelsea victory at home. I actually feel like Chelsea, if they start this momentum now, they might start to sort of motor a little bit and getting that confidence there early. So I've gone with a 2, no, I haven't. I've gone with a 3-1 Chelsea victory. I feel like Brighton as well, they're coming off the back of another European game as well. So I've got 3-1 Chelsea. Next up, we've got Leeds against Brentford. This one, I also feel like it will be goals. Brentford are scoring goals for fun. Bagged 6 against a very, very poor team from Birmingham. Very, very poor team from Birmingham. Was it 6-1? So Brentford are in amongst the goals. Leeds have won 2 games in the Carabao and the Premier League. My team to do really well this season. Why? I think they've got that sort of Daniel Farker sort of stability. And I actually think he's a good manager. And I actually like him. I think he's really, really underrated. I love how honest and hardworking he is. He's a likable guy. I think he's got a cool haircut. And I don't mind Leeds. I know as a Villa fan, we had that little bit of needle in the Championship, but I think Leeds, I actually quite like them. So I'm going to go 2-2. I feel like Leeds, that's a good result for both teams coming up against, each team that are in form, to be honest. Sunderland against Fulham. I am going to go with I'm going to go 1-0 Sunderland. 1-0 Sunderland. Why I'm going to go 1-0 Sunderland is because I feel like this could be what most people have expected with Fulham. Now, they're all right against Chelsea, but I feel like sometimes playing well and losing isn't a good trait to have. And I know it's only one game, but this will be a tough game up at Sunderland. And Sunderland aren't really in great form themselves, to be honest. Now, they ended the season really poorly. And sometimes you can take that into the next season. So this is a big game for Sunderland. If Sunderland can win this, they're sort of like back on track, really. Whereas if Fulham lose it, that's 2 losses now with a new manager. And then you start searching for that first win, which is sometimes quite difficult. So I've gone with a 1-0 Sunderland win. And then the final game before Aston Villa, we've got Manchester United at home against Ipswich. And I'm going with a 4-0 Man United win. I feel like it'll be super comfortable. Absolutely super comfortable. They'll bounce back from the Hull game at home at Old Trafford. They'll probably be quite fluid, expressive. And I think they'll just, once 1 or 2 go in, they'll just add a few more and it'll become 4 quite quickly. Now, Villa against Arsenal. No one will really give Villa a chance. Nobody. But I actually feel something could quite happen under the lights at Villa Park on that Monday night. Because we know Villa will be bang up for that. Absolutely bang up for it. Why are we going to be bang up for it? Number one, we welcome the European champions of Europe, back to Villa Park for the first time. Some of our heroes are returning. Some of them aren't because they've left. That'll be feel good. Number two, we've signed a brand new striker in Nicholas Jackson. Unbelievable. We've also signed half a new team. The excitement and anticipation and how we will get behind those new players is huge. And it's Arsenal, the champions. You can't not turn up, basically, because you're up against a really good team. I've gone with, this might surprise some of you, might not surprise you. I've gone with a 1-1. I think we might take the lead and Arsenal score, and it's a tight, cagey game. Could go either way. But I'm going to go 1-1. I feel like everyone will expect Villa to lose, but we sometimes don't lose back-to-backs, or we don't lose 3 in a row, 4, So we're still a good team if everything can come together. Goretzka could play. Maybe Manzambi could be in the squad. Might not play. Might be in the squad. Might be on the bus. Might be there to just sit there and watch. But there'll be a good feel-good factor around Villa. So those are my game week predictions. Let's see if I do better than last week. Kind of kept it a little bit shorter this week because I've done a lot of content. I've been chatting about Villa quite a lot. So I just wanted to make sure that I'm consistent and I get this concept out there. So, I want to be consistent with this. I don't want to just miss one. So these are all my predictions. So to run through what I've gone with, if we just want to recap what I've gone with. Palace 0, City 3, Liverpool 2, Forest 0, Bournemouth 2, Everton 2, Forest 1, Hull 1, Tottenham 2, Newcastle 1. I actually sound like that guy on I remember when I used to be at my nan's and we used to watch the scores coming in at the end. He used to do it a bit more like this. Chelsea 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Leeds United 2, Brentford 2, Sunderland 1, Fulham 0, Manchester United 4, Ipswich 0, and Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 1. What the Villa? Let's see if I do better next week. Let me know your thoughts. See you later.